If you remember the challenge I did 3 years ago where I was trying to see which one of the Nintendo controls I would be able to complete, Apes Oddysee and Apes Exoddus, to which I later found out that there was even more possibilities with me trying to further progress with the SNES control on both Apes Oddysee and Apes Exoddus. And to give a quick recap on where I struggled last time. For Apes Oddysee, it was on this part right here, because I did not have the alternate game speak where I could do the password that was set in the speaker. So this was here where I stopped. Whereas in Apes Exoddus, I got stuck right here because of the same thing. And then I come back to this challenge 3 years later to find out that there was beyond more possibilities with the SNES controller. And at first I thought of, if I could not pass the part with the speaker, I thought there was maybe an alternate way. Because I remembered that most speedrunners, when they try to speedrun Apes Oddysee, they would always do that backward jump to bypass that wall, and they would immediately reach Zulak 2. And so I thought, why don't I do the same thing? This could really help me, and I have all the buttons to do the backwards jump. So here you see me trying to do the backwards jump, because I knew this was very hard. This trick here is very frame perfect timing. Like, you have to time your button inputs correctly, or else it won't work. I've tried and tried for like 1.5 hours. So this clip you see here is literally me just trying all over again and again, and just with no success. And however, there was like one time where it actually worked. Like, I did it successfully. But that's when I forgot that I had to do rapidly jumping, where I have to hold down the triangle button and the alt button all at the same time, so that I would keep jumping. But I forgot to do that, and I got stuck between the walls, and that was absolutely annoying for me. I did all of that, and then just right when I succeeded, I got stuck myself. So after that, I tried again to see if I could do it, but with absolutely no luck. This trick is really hard. I even looked at tutorial videos on the internet to see how it exactly worked and how I could do that. And I even saw a few speedrunners trying to do it by themselves, and even watched it frame by frame. But I just couldn't really do it correctly by myself. And I was just thinking, what should I do? What should I do? Then the next day, when I was very tired and it was getting very late, I was starting to thinking. I just remembered there was this cheat code where you could skip the password for when you to receive a red ring from a shaman. And I thought to myself, well, I wonder if that cheat code works on the Sleek speaker. At first I started to do that cheat code with Ape himself, but nothing happened. So I reloaded the game itself, and I possessed a Sleek. And as I was possessing the Sleek, I did the cheat code again to see if something happened. And when I did this, it actually worked. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I tried like hours doing the backwards jump, and then I figured out I could have just done the skip password cheat. No freaking way. Like, I didn't even know this was possible to do on this sleek speaker. Like, I always saw this being done with the Mudokon Shaman, but not the sleek speaker. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I couldn't believe I actually progressed through this, and it was just done in such a simple way. But aside from that, everything after that went totally fine. All of the Zulags that I went through was totally fine, and there was really no problem. With the only exception that some parts had to be bypassed with the sleek speaker, but that wasn't really a problem because I could just repeat the skip password cheat code, and I was absolutely good. Then I reached the end of the game, and yes, I can now safely confirm that it is indeed possible to complete Outworld Apes Oddysee with an SNES controller. It is unbelievable after a challenge that I did 3 years ago where none of the controllers that I progressed 100% at all, and actually turned out to be that one of them is indeed possible. So I can now confirm that the SNES controller can be completed 100% with Apes Oddysee. And for this you obviously have to do a lot of glitches and cheats, like in-game cheats obviously. So now that Apes Oddysee is done, it is time to move on Apes Exoddus. So the first idea that I had with Apes Exoddus was that I wanted to see if I could do some sort of experiment with backwards jump, despite me struggling so much with doing it in Apes Oddysee. But I wasn't really giving up. I wanted to see what I could do with this, but that's when I figured out that my idea was not exactly realistic, despite that if I actually succeeded doing the backwards jump. You see, the backwards jump doesn't exactly function the same as it does in Apes Oddysee. You see, when Ape does the backwards jump in Apes Oddysee, he's able to repeatedly jump backward, but in Apes Exoddus this has been patched. Not to mention that he also jumps 2 steps, if I'm not mistaken. So even if I did the backwards jump on this platform that you can see, I don't think I have enough space to actually jump over the trapdoor. Because in case if you don't know, the reason why I could not progress on this level at all is because the backwards jump does not work on the slam door. Because the slam door literally just stops Ape immediately when he tries to backwards jump over it. And I just realized to myself that even if I tried to do the backwards jump up there, it was literally not possible at all. And I thought to myself, maybe there really is no way to progress through Apes Exoddus with an SNES controller. That is until I thought of another cheat code that was absolutely ridiculous, that I hated myself to do this, and that was the skip segment cheat code. Basically, it allows you to just skip a segment of Ape's Exoddus, and then you just immediately teleport to the next level. And I thought, that's such a lazy way to complete the game. But I also thought to myself that there's literally no other way I could complete this. And second, this is literally a part of the game. Like, the creators have literally put this in as part of the game. So I don't really know if I should even call this unfair, because if it wasn't for all the other cheat codes that I did on Ape's Oddysee, it would not have even been possible for me to progress that far in Ape's Oddysee, especially by using the skip voice password, because this one helped me bypass a lot of Scrapania and Paramonia as well. So it was a miracle for me to find out that this even worked in the Zulek one as well, or Zulek 2, sorry, where I could even bypass the Sleek Speaker as well. So I thought, I had no other choice. I just had to use the skip segment cheat code. But that's when I figured out that doing the skip segment cheat code also comes with a risk, because every time when you do the skip segment cheat code, the casualties counter grows. So this isn't really something that you can just spam and hope for getting the good ending, because there is a risk for it. And I thought to myself, that's actually a good thing, because that means I can't just cheese this to get the good ending in Ape's Oddysee by using the skip segment cheat code. So I thought to myself that I want to use the skip segment cheat code as less as possible. So this is what I was aiming for. However, I just discovered that every segment after this one that I struggled on was also very hard, because at this segment we have angry Mudokons who keep pushing these levers, and I need these Mudokons to help me pull those ring to open the door to the next segment. And here's where the problem is: I do not have the GameSpeak button to say sorry to them, and that was really a problem. There was literally no way I could let them follow me and help me do the work to open the door. I tried like so many alternate solutions with trying to see if there was any glitches, any in-game cheat codes, but there was literally nothing that I could do about this. Then I thought of, what if I did that trick I did back in Necromites, where I would just keep pressing quick save and quick load so that all of the ring would glow green. But that's when I figured out that these rings here functions differently than it did in Necromites, because this one immediately turns off as soon as Ape stops rolling the rings. That's when I came to the realization that this segment is also impossible to complete. So I was literally forced to do the skip segment cheat code yet again. And then I reached the second hub. Doing the first part here was really good. Nothing was really problematic. That is until then I found out that these Mudokons that I have to save are depressed, so I can't let them follow me without the sorry button. That's when I found out that if you fart at them, they will actually take one step. and I came up with this ridiculous solution that I would keep farting at the Modokans so that they would go all the way to the bird portal and I can save them. This took a lot of time, but it actually worked. And I won't really bore you with showing you the progress of how I made them go step by step. So, in conclusion, it worked. I saved them and I was able to complete this segment. Then I moved on to the next segment, and this was here where I found out that this segment, it was very challenging with limited controls. But it was also here where my friend Mortnus later on joined me, and he gave me some absolutely good tips on how I could complete this part. To explain further what was so hard about this part is that when you fall all the way down to the bottom, you see that there's this sleek and there's this brew machine that I have to get a brew from. And the problem is I do not have the sneak button to sneak there, though I was able to bypass the sleek and reach the brew machine, but like I say, I didn't have the sneak button, so he could obviously hear me and then he shot me. So there was no way that I could do this and progress further through this level. So I had to come up with an alternate way to do this. And like I said, this was here when my friend Mortnus taught me an alternate way to do this. For this, I have to scare the sleek by chanting, and then timing it correctly, I'll have to immediately press the lever so that the trapdoor opens and sleeks fall down. And as he falls down with the another sleek, I just have to chant yet again and scare them both. And as I was doing this, they are both completely distracted and does not realize me at all. And also completing these 3 doors was also no problem as well, with the exception that this Modokan right here is angry. But thankfully there was the trick where I could just fart at him and let him do 1 step away from me. But it was also here where Mortnus warned me that if the Modokan slaps me too many times, I would actually get killed. Well, honestly did not know that, but I'm glad he warned me about that. So you can see that every time whenever I fart him, I try to take a step away from him to prevent him from slapping me. But aside from that, everything went totally fine. And everything after that went fine as well. I completed and I saved them all. And also this part with the blind Modokans went also totally fine with no problems as well. Then when I reach this part, that's when I realized that I may not be able to save all of the Modokans in this segment. To start with, these 3 Modokans are angry, so I can't say sorry to them. So I have to do the fart trick by letting them walk 1 step by time to let them walk a little bit away. But that's where I also had to be careful that they do not start to slap each other, because they are standing right next to each other. But it was no problem for me to make them stop without using the stop it button. So it was a bit problematic for me to let them lead them all the way to the left, but it worked anyway, and I did it. But this is here where I found out that I can't save all of these Modokans right here, because this is here where I need to use the stop it input to make them stop fighting. And since I don't have that, I can't do that. And I tried to see if I could stop them by farting at them, but that did not work. So I was literally forced to see one of them getting killed, and then they will all turn depressed. And not to mention that there's this Modakin right here who is angry, who keeps pressing the levers and just won't follow any orders from me, and not even taking one step away from me if I try to fart them. So I had no other choice than just saving these 3 depressed Modakin by letting them take one step by time by farting at them. But that's where I realized that I may not even be able to save these Modakins at all, because I have to stop that Modakin down there who keeps pressing the levers that activate the electric fence and the trapdoors. And you know, there's no other way to make him stop aside from saying sorry, which I can't. So I tried to see if there was an alternate way that I could save them all, but unfortunately there wasn't. So I was literally forced to leave this segment with all the Modakins and having only saved 3 Modakins, which is very unfortunate. After that I moved on to the next segment, and this was here where Morgnus was a big help to me as well, where he came up with alternate tricks to continue this segment here. And the trick was that I'll have to stay at that electric door and wait until the other Sleeks comes and sees me and try to shoot me. And when he tried to shoot me, well, I teleport, the Sleek dies, and then Abe is the one who teleports to the door instead. And doing this, you will bypass the alarm that begins as soon as I don't remember what was exactly that activated the alarm, but anyway, and it also activates these bone drills as well. And doing this trick, I was able to bypass all of that, so I didn't have to worry about the bone drills at all, or even the alarm as well. So he made it very easy for me as well. Another thing is that I also had to kill the Sleek that I was possessing in front of this Modakin, because that Modakin is angry. And in case if you don't know, if you kill a possessed Sleek right in front of an angry Modakin or a depressed Modakin, they would actually get cured by that and they would be Abe. So that was a great alternate way of being letting them obey me, and then they will just follow me. Aside from that, everything went totally fine, and I was able to save all the Modakins and finish this segment. That's when I reached the 3rd hub, and my first door that I went on was the one with the crazy Modakins and with the slam doors. And this one went totally fine, with no problems at all. But after I reached the 2nd door that I went through, which is this one, I found out that I may not be able to save the Modakins in this segment, because I have to open that slam door by doing the password from the Sleek speaker. And unfortunately, the skip password cheat code does not exist in Ape's Exoddus as it does in Ape's Oddysee, despite the fact that the internet is saying that, which is not true. This cheat code does not exist in Exoddus. So unfortunately, I had to leave this segment without saving the Medokins. The next one that I went totally fine with no problem as well. Then I reached the last door before I had to reach the last part of the third hub, and that's where I thought to myself that maybe I cannot bypass this by myself, and I am yet again forced to use the skip segment cheat code. Because so far I had used it twice, so I don't really want to use it 3 times. But that's when I realized that maybe I don't have to use the skip segment. Cause I thought, why not just do this? And it actually worked. When I did this, it automatically opened the slam door and it even brought the elevator up. So I could easily progress further into this level. And everything else went totally fine with this segment, despite the fact that I was forced to go back and forth because of limitations with the button inputs I had. But aside from that, I did this, I saved all the Medokins, and I could continue. Then I reached the very last part of the game, which I then realized a very disappointing result with this. That all of this I did not matter at all. Because first of all, there is one Modokin that is depressed and the other one is angry. And obviously I need to say sorry to both of them because I highly need them. I obviously tried to use the fart trick at the depressed Modokin so that he would walk one step, despite the fact that this was time consuming. But I tried anyway, and despite some doubtful attempts, I managed to lead the Modokin all the way down and letting it pull the ring together with me. But that's when I figured out that I cannot let it bypass these bone drill because it is too slow to respond to me in that way. So this was absolutely impossible for me to do that. And even if I let the Modokin bypass these bone drills, I still need the angry Modokin to follow me as well. But I don't even know if it would have even been possible for me to do that as well. Then I came up with the sad realization that I had no other choice to do the ledge trick and clip myself down there where it would bring me to that bird portal that would give me the bad ending. And also my friend Mortness has also tried to experiment a few stuff here, but unfortunately he has confirmed to me that this is straight up impossible to do with a SNES controller. So in conclusion, I do want to say that it is indeed possible to complete Ape's Exoddus, but not to achieve the good ending, even if you have saved more than 150 Modokins. You would still get the bad ending because there is no way for you that you would just read the bottom all the way down to get the good ending, which was a very disappointing result. Not like with Ape's Oddysee, where at least you could save all the Modokins and get the good ending, complete the game 100%. Ape's Exoddus, on the other hand, is a tough nut to crack. Well, you can complete it, even though you were forced to do a very lame cheat code such as skipping a segment. But yeah, you cannot complete this game and get the good ending with a SNES controller. But you know, I reached the ending anyway, so I guess it counts. With this, I want to say that it is indeed possible to complete Ape's Oddysee and Ape's Exoddus with a SNES controller. And man, this sure was a fun, but yeah, they're very tough challenge to come back into. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.